is CTV News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. A deadly house fire is under investigation tonight. OPP say one person was found dead inside a home in Leamington. Emergency crews responding to the scene shortly after 7:15 Sunday morning. The fire didn't happen in the main house, but a secondary property behind a home on Seacliff Drive West. Police say one person was found dead inside that unit. More than 24 hours later, a number of investigators back at the scene. CTV News obtained footage of the fire shot by a neighbor. As you can see, smoke billowing into the sky as crews work to knock the flames down. Authorities say the investigation is in its initial stages.
The crime unit is working alongside the Office of the Fire Marshal, so they'll be, looking for evidence to make sure it's not suspicious, and obviously we will be looking to identify and confirm the deceased party.
The Special Investigations Unit has cleared Windsor police of any wrongdoing in the fatal shooting of a 58-year-old man last September. Police were called to a home near Stanley Street and Lillian Avenue in the Remington Park neighborhood after the man told 911 he was suicidal, intoxicated, and threatened to shoot both himself and responding officers. A standoff followed, and the SIU said he repeatedly pointed what appeared to be a real handgun at officers. According to the SIU, police tried to negotiate, but when the man came back onto the porch and raised the weapon again, officers opened fire. He was taken to hospital and died 2 days later. The man's gun was determined to be a replica pellet gun, but police reasonably believed it was a real firearm at the time. Meantime, Windsor police have issued a warrant for the arrest of a woman wanted in connection to an assault at a downtown bar. Officers were called to the 500 block of Olad Avenue on January 22nd, where the suspect allegedly struck an employee multiple times in the face with her knees. The suspect has been identified as 40-year-old Sarah Wilkinson, who is wanted for assault. Wilkinson is described as a white woman with brown hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information regarding Wilkinson's whereabouts is asked to contact the Major Crimes Unit. Windsor police have charged a 32-year-old man following an investigation into alleged fraudulent vehicle sales that police say cost buyers tens of thousands of dollars. Police say Amir Al-Nasiri, who operated under the business Nazarati Auto, is accused of defrauding 15 people out of roughly $40,000 in 2025. Investigators allege vehicles were sold with rolled back odometers, fraudulent safety inspections, or were never delivered. Others, police say, were misrepresented as roadworthy. Ontario's vehicle sales regulator had previously warned consumers the business was not registered and unauthorized to sell vehicles. Police say Al-Nasiri turned himself in last week and now faces multiple fraud-related charges. After a wave of canceled surgeries, the heat is finally coming back on at the Chatham-Kent Health Alliance. As CTV's Bob Belichico shows us, a temporary boiler is being hooked up now to restore the hospital to full operations this week.
It's never okay to cancel a surgery, so that's something that we really don't ever want to do.
But it's something Chatham-Kent Health Alliance has had to do since early last week. CKHA has always maintained its ability to perform emergency surgeries, but in all, 35 to 40 elective surgeries have been canceled to date because of boiler failure.
I'd say a good half of them were ophthalmology surgeries or cataract surgeries.
So one of the two boilers on the roof here at CK Alliance failed last week. The second one struggled. A temporary one was brought here on Friday and is expected to be set up by tomorrow or late day Wednesday, bringing everything here at the hospital back to normal. Losing a boiler means CKHA has been outsourcing, sterilizing their equipment to other area hospitals.
I want to thank Blue Water Health and Erie Shores Healthcare for their assistance in reprocessing our devices over the last week to minimize the impact on surgeries.
Heat in the hospital has been maintained, but it's being described as not ideal, leading to complaints. The hospital has ordered another temporary boiler to replace a 23-year-old piece of equipment. The boilers were part of an infrastructure and equipment renewal plan that has been a topic of discussion for the past 6 months.
Our original plan was to do an RFP for that work in about a year from now, but we'll be doing that right away.
The renewal plan has a 20-year horizon, and the boilers just moved to the top of that list.
That's something we'll be doing over the next month or two, is putting that plan in place.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
5 months after a flood left parts of Essex underwater, town officials are looking at ways to prepare for future floods. They say the once-in-a-100-year rain amount overwhelmed the drainage system. CTV's Robert Lothian has been looking into this and joins us now. So, Robert, what exactly is the town's messaging here?
Yeah, Stefanie, further upgrading some of this infrastructure for rare weather events will cost more than the town can afford to pay. They are instead looking to residents to take advantage of programs that can help save their homes during future flooding. A major flood in Harrow and Colchester last September left residents looking for answers. Nearly 5 months later, talks of preventing future flooding persist.
Recognizing that, even this term of council has had similar, 100-year floods. Unfortunately, that seems to be becoming a little bit more normal with climate changes.
Harrow's Rachel Mills attending council Monday for an update on those high water levels. While her house didn't flood, she says the same can't be said for some neighboring areas.
I think there's an opportunity to really lean into all the tools that we have. So, the resilience of our area, our community, our infrastructure, our agricultural lands, the natural areas, we really need to be careful in this area.
Town staff saying the magnitude of the storm exceeded what the sewage and drainage systems were designed to handle. A heavy storm bringing more than 190 millimeters of rain in 24 hours. Upgrading to systems equipped to handle that, staff say is too high for the taxpayers.
The size and of the infrastructure that would need to go into handle a storm in excess of a 100-year event is very cost prohibitive when you're talking about the amount of residents that would be on that drain and would have to pay for it.
Staff recommending improvements be initiated by those using these specific drains.
I don't think residents should be shocked. We are a small municipality. We try to provide the best level of service that we can. And we're talking like extreme storms that have been coming.
Essex Mayor Sherry Bondi says the town's tax base can only shoulder so much and that residents should be looking at ways to flood-proof their own property.
Look at their own home and see if they've taken the subsidy program, if they can look at what they can do at their home to make sure that their home is best equipped for a flood.
She's encouraging more residents to be like Mills and get involved now to understand the town's resources and response the next time Essex floods. The town is also looking to see more residents use the resources available. As you heard the mayor there, they do offer a subsidy program to help residents affected by floods, particularly with backwater valves as well as sump pump installation. However, the town says the program is currently being underutilized. Stefanie.
Okay, good to know. Robert Lothian tonight. Thank you for this. In other news, Canadian figure skaters Diana Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps will not compete in the team event at the Winter Olympics. Stellato-Dudek was injured during training. Her condition will be monitored on a day-to-day basis to see if she can compete. But the 2024 world champions have not yet withdrawn from the individual pairs event. The Paralympic Games will follow, and today 4 para-hockey players from southwestern Ontario hit the ice for what they say is their final practice together on home ice, including 2 from Essex County.
I'm just a proud Essex boy, and I'm happy to be living here again and training with the local Southern Ontario guys, and I'm just really excited for the games, and I hope everyone tunes in.
Essex's Zach Lavin and Kingsville goalie Corbin Watson are members of Canada's men's para-hockey team. They shared the ice today with Forrest Tyler McGregor and Wallace-Town's James Dunn. 4 players from the same corner of the province, all chasing the same goal. From here, the foursome will join the rest of the national team, ramping up final prep before heading overseas on February 20th. And while the jersey says Canada, the motivation, they say, comes from much closer to home.
I still play games in men's leagues in Kingsville, and I enjoy it so much. And then going to the Paralympics and playing games there, I'm going to enjoy it the same amount, and it's just going to be so much fun. I think about home lots, especially like I know my family's going to be coming over there. There's some family who won't be able to make it, so always thinking about them cheering me on. I know a big one is my father cheering me on. He unfortunately passed away last year, so it's a little different, so I'll be thinking about him, thinking about home, but I know that's going to drive me to push myself during the Paralympics.
Meantime, colored lights are being projected onto historic buildings, and light installations are decorating the streets as Milan gets ready for the games. Almost 1.2 million tickets have been sold for the Olympics and Paralympics, and hockey tops the list. Players from the NHL will also participate for the first time since 2014. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time. And still ahead, the stars speak during music's biggest night. Gary is here now with a detailed look at your weather. Gary.
Cold tonight, cold tomorrow, cold enough to see more flurries. And we got into some steady flurries during the midday hours. Late morning through the noon hour, early afternoon. And a couple of centimeters fell in parts of southwestern Ontario. Reached a high yet again that was several degrees below seasonal. Our average high is actually warming up by about 1/10 of a degree per day, up to minus 0.8 degrees Celsius. Still not above the freezing mark. Reached a high of minus 5.2, and it has felt as cold as minus 22. And we got into it early this morning. Some of the snow that moved through the region was, as mentioned, heavy along major arteries and county roads through the region. The good news is some of it, or at least the heaviest bands, are well to our north and east. We'll get into a bit of a break by Wednesday. That's good news because we'll see some sunshine. But the winds will be primarily out of the northwest, and with that, that's your cold air pool that's reinforced, which means temperatures stay suppressed and well below average for this time of the year. Snowbelt region, part of the Midwestern tier of southern Ontario, seeing an additional 3 to 5 centimeters over the next 24 to 48 hours. And for those who perhaps have a early morning shift or a late night shift tonight, we're looking at temperatures getting down to -7 by about 10 p.m., -8 by midnight, -9 by 1 a.m., and that feels like about -14. Along with it, about a 70% chance of some patchy flurries, a few waves pushing through. All right, so where do we go from here? Well, here's the breakdown for your Tuesday at 8 a.m. Still cold, colder than the norm for this time of year and for the time of day. Already -8 feels like -13. Flurries and cloudy. That's the story. And it will only go up to probably about -5, just like today. Again, about 4 degrees below seasonal. We'll see some sunshine, I promise you. It's looking good for Wednesday. At least it will be sunny. You'll need the extra layers. High of -6 and an early morning low of -16. Feels like -20s, low -20s. Cloudy on Thursday, -4, +2, and wet snow expected on Friday. The weekend, a mixture of sun and cloud both days, -8, followed by -5, Saturday and Sunday respectively. And then Monday, a week from now, -3, and still below seasonal for daytime highs, and the lows are still in the minus double digits. That's a look at your weather.
Windsor's vacant home tax is going up and could rise even higher in the future. The tax will rise from 3% to 4% in 2026, and council asked staff to report back on a potential increase to 5%. The levy applies to homes unoccupied for more than 183 days each year. There are exemptions for homes undergoing renovations, are listed for sale, or estates in transition. The tax is designed to encourage owners to rent or sell empty homes and help ease the city's housing crisis. For a home worth $150,000, the increase would mean paying $6,000 in vacant home tax. The program, launched in 2024, already issued fines to hundreds of property owners. Residents can report suspected vacant homes by calling 311. A bill aimed at giving Canadians some GST relief to help with the cost of groceries is being fast-tracked through Parliament after MPs unanimously supported it.
We have a crisis in this country for millions of families and millions in line at a food bank, and we want to see real relief.
The Conservatives say while they agreed to support the government's bill, they're calling on the Prime Minister to offer more tax relief to help offset high food prices. A warning for anyone planning a trip with grandchildren or nieces and nephews. As CTV's Pav Foreign reports, that ended up costing an Ontario family an expensive trip they couldn't take.
It was very sad, you know.
Avita Gordon of Brampton was going to Jamaica with her husband for a wedding. They decided to travel with their grandchildren as Gordon's daughter had flown ahead as she was in the wedding party. But when they were boarding the plane, there was a problem.
I asked for a letter for the grandkids to show that, you know, I have permission to travel with the grandkids. I said I don't have one.
Gordon was told without documents showing the children were allowed to fly with her, they could not board the flight. All four of them ended up not getting on the plane.
I wanted to give the grandchildren a trip with myself, you know, and I didn't get on the flight. It hurts, you know, so much money down the drain.
The couple had to buy new airline tickets the next day, and the grandchildren had to stay home with relatives. This happened in December of 2024, but the Gordons had been seeking a refund from Air Transat, which was denied. A spokesperson for the airline told CTV News the children were traveling with their grandparents without a parental authorization letter, which is a mandatory requirement when minors travel without their parents or legal guardians. This rule exists to protect minors and prevent child abduction.
It is heartbreaking because it's something that I think people just don't think about when they're booking that trip and when they're making their way to the airport because they're just excited to be going, right?
Travel expert Jennifer Weatherhead says it's important to have the proper documents when traveling with a minor or you will be denied boarding.
You need their passport, birth certificate, parental consent, and that letter should be notarized to make sure that it is okay. You need to have proof of your relationship to the child as well, and then any kind of custody documentation.
You'll find travel information on the federal government's website and how to write a consent letter. Gordon wanted to warn other grandparents what happened to them.
If anybody's traveling with young kids, I advise them, make sure you get a letter of permission to take the grandchildren or whoever you're taking with you.
Pat Foreign, CTV News.
Canada's main stock index began regaining some of the ground it lost at the end of last week. The TSX is up 260 points. In New York, the Dow added 515, the Nasdaq up 130. The Canadian dollar lost almost 2/3 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold fell more than $92 an ounce. Oil lost $3 a barrel. Music's biggest night was held in Los Angeles last evening with the 68th Annual Grammy Awards. As CTV's Andrea Case tells us, while the focus was on the artists and the awards, there was also plenty of attention paid to events happening across America.
What would I do if I didn't love you, baby?
Four-time Grammy nominee Justin Bieber seemingly serenaded his wife Hailey Bieber in what host Trevor Noah called a captivating performance. This was Noah's sixth and final turn as host.
I believe in term limits. Yeah, I wanted to set an example for anyone who might be watching the show. You know, just leave when your time is up.
And there were more messages to anyone listening in the White House.
Bad Bunny!
The Puerto Rican superstar is set to perform at next week's Super Bowl and as such was not allowed to perform on the Grammy stage.
I'm gonna say, eyes out.
He used the platform to send a strong message.
We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans and we are Americans. The hate get more powerful with more hate. The only thing that is more powerful than hate is love.
He wasn't alone. Best New Artist winner, Olivia Dean.
I'm up here as a granddaughter of an immigrant. I wouldn't be here. I'm a product of bravery, and I think those people deserve to be celebrated. So yeah, we're nothing without each other. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you so much. Bye.
A number of those in attendance wore Ice Out pins, including Song of the Year winners Phineas and Billie Eilish.
No one is illegal on stolen land. I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter, and the people matter.
Andrea Case, CTV News.
The second human trip to the moon could launch as early as Sunday if the wet dress rehearsal goes smoothly. The Artemis crew is taking part in a full walkthrough and countdown simulation. CTV's John Vanavalley-Rao has more on the final preparations.
After rolling out to the launch pad 2 weeks ago, this massive NASA rocket's now undergoing a final critical test, what's called a wet dress rehearsal, being fully loaded with fuel. And if all goes well, Canadian Jeremy Hansen could blast off in less than a week, with the moon mission seeming like it could finally happen.
Now there's an actual rocket on the launch pad pointing in the right place, and there's the moon somewhere not kind of lined up, and now we're actually putting fuel on it.
There were no astronauts on board today. All 4 remain in quarantine, awaiting the green light for a launch attempt. A mission that'll see them go on a 10-day lunar flyby on a rocket and capsule that have never carried people before, with Hansen set to become the first non-American ever to go around the moon.
To see our beloved Jeremy Hansen going up there, Canadian, this is just a really exciting moment for the world, but it's especially exciting for Canada.
Depending on how today's tests go, the Artemis rocket could potentially launch on the 8th, 10th, or 11th, failing that in early March or April, with the astronauts prepared to fly on Sunday.
The crew are assuming that's their launch date, so they will be ready.
All that as concerns are again being expressed about the Orion capsule's heat shield, which during an uncrewed test in 2022 was damaged unexpectedly during re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere.
Enormous chunks of the heat shield came off. Fortunately, not enough to cause catastrophic failure, but certainly enough to send alarm bells ringing all over NASA.
NASA has said if astronauts had been on board, they would have survived, and it has modified the angle at which the capsule re-enters the atmosphere. Still, some think it's too risky. Meanwhile, NASA should reveal in the next day or two if the fuel up went properly. A problem could force them to move the rocket back into a hangar. John Vanavalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
A February tradition dating back to the 1950s hit the stage in Wiarton this morning as Wiarton Willie gave Ontarians hope with his winter forecast prediction. Scott Miller reports.
What Willie told me is he did not see the sun, so everybody knows what that means. 1, 2, 3, it's an early spring!
For the 6th consecutive Groundhog Day, Wiarton Willie hasn't seen his shadow, which by tradition means it will be an early spring.
It's fitting for the weather we've been having for the last 2 to 3 weeks, so, people in this area are used to this type of thing. We're here in the wintertime, we know what it's like, but it is nice to hear from Willie on a beautiful day like today that it's going to be an early spring.
Wake up, Willie! Wake up, Willie!
A parking lot packed with folks from across Ontario braved minus 20-degree temperatures this morning to hear Wiarton Willie's prediction, which was music to most people's ears.
I'm ready for an early spring this year. Too much snow already. Yeah, at this point. I mean, I do love winter, but at this point, I'm ready for spring.
We were hoping for an early spring, and hopefully he's going to be right this year.
Yeah, what do you think?
That would be great because my car said it was minus 18 this morning heading out here, and let's
get her a little warmer. Early spring would be great.
Like much of Ontario, Wiarton has been absolutely buried in snow this winter. Almost 350 centimeters so far. That's what Wiarton would normally get in an entire winter.
The gentleman on stage mentioned about his snowblower was blowing belts. We've been having the same things happen. You know what? We're just about ready for it to warm up, for sure. We're happy.
Although enthusiastic for Willie's prediction of an early spring, some in the crowd are questioning just how realistic it might be.
Well, I mean, I'm excited for tulips, but it's hard to believe that spring's coming early when it's this blistery cold, but we can stay optimistic, right?
I mean, I do have hopes that it is going to be an early spring, but I don't really know with how cold it is.
I think the bay's frozen. I don't think we're going to get winter this far, but I think we're going to get a really early spring.
So once again, the crier's bell did ring. Yes, Willie predicts. Now hear this, it's an early spring!
In Wiarton, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Gary joins us again for one final look at the weather.
Stefanie, I think tomorrow we'll see some early morning snow, patchy across southwestern Ontario. And then we'll see some sunshine, but temperatures remain below seasonal. Chilly late night tonight, chillier even more so for tomorrow morning, and again for Wednesday morning and Thursday morning before things warm up Friday, but snow's on the way. Could see +2. And then we get cold again. Northerly winds will be the story across the weekend for much of southern Ontario, and temperatures dropping accordingly. We're still looking at wind chill values this week in the -18 to -24 range. Tomorrow, flurries. Wednesday, sunny. That's a good tandem. We'll ramp up to some sunshine for the midweek. That's a look at your weather. Good night.
Groundhogs aren't the only creatures casting their prediction for the end of the winter.
And it is official. Lucy does not see her shadow.
Meet Lucy the lobster. She predicted an early start to spring as she launched the Nova Scotia Lobster Crawl. Lucy crawled her way into Groundhog Day festivities back in 2018, adding an Atlantic Canada twist to the tradition. That's your news for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. See you right back here tomorrow.